Hello, epic viewers from around the world. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captivating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What item will I be unboxing? What item will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What item is encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. So bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the item from the box and subsequently flaunt it in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. I'm ravaging the box. At least I'm attempting to. I'm feeble. I lack physical prowess. I'm dainty. I'm petty. Alrighty. The item is obscured by plastic bags. I'm leveraging this nifty pair of scissors to render a larger aperture in the box. Alrighty, the box is not devoid of its contents. The box can be relegated to the trash. It can be consigned to the trash. Let me render the contents of the box transparent. Within a bag, we have another bag, and within the bag, we have yet again another homogeneous bag. What items are these, you may ask? These figurines are known by the monikers of the clone troopers. We have a green clone trooper in conjunction with a red clone trooper. In addition to the aforementioned clone troopers, we have a yellow and blue clone trooper. Are these figurines clone commanders? I doubt it. I could double check that in the future. I would need to verify whether they're just average, typical, conventional clone troopers, or whether they're considered clone commanders. Bow down to the exalted red clone trooper. Bow down to the illustrious blue clone trooper. Kneel before the mighty, audacious, intimidating, ferocious yellow clone trooper. And pay homage to the menacing, notorious green trooper. I'm just being fastidious. This guy's a hero. He's valiant. He's noble. He has a microchip implanted within his brain, or at least the clone troopers do, which indoctrinated them and brainwashed them and forced them to concede to Emperor Palpatine's orders to eliminate the Jedi Knights. In other words, if the clone troopers lack that brain implant, or microchip implant, or microchip that's embedded within their brains, then perhaps they would have desisted from carrying out Order 66 against the Jedi Masters. Anyways, I digress. These figurines have stellar aesthetics. They have high quality paint applications. They have high quality shadings, high quality textures. Their seam lines aren't very noticeable. I mean, you may notice them, you may be able to pinpoint them, but they don't really bother me. I love their armaments. I love their armor pieces that they wield throughout their body. They're adorned with unique designs. I love their hues. I love their utility belts. I love the fact that they have articulation in the knee joints and in the elbow joints. They lack the ability to articulate their fingers. They lack the ability to articulate their toes. So they lack finger joint articulation. They lack toe joint articulation. Their heads are relegated to a ball joint. Their hands do not seem to be... Their arms do not seem to be relegated to ratchets. They lack a diaphragm joint. Their knees aren't double jointed, nor are their elbows double jointed. They can swirl their wrists. They cannot turn their forearms. They cannot swivel or rotate their biceps. They can turn their heads though. Their thighs cannot be rotated, nor can their calves. But you can ascend their legs, you can ascend their arms, you can descend their arms. They can swivel at the waist, so they have ample points of articulation. They stand roughly 3.75 inches tall, nearly 4 inches tall. They come with a blaster that you can equip. If you want them to be unarmed, then you can abstain from equipping them. I prefer for my clone troopers to be armed to the T. They look more epic when they're armed. Are they pre-posed? No, they can be placed into any dynamic pose that you see fit. The fingers are semi-clenched together, so there's a slew of possibilities for dynamic poses. You have the liberty to place them into nearly any dynamic pose that you can fathom. I love the stripes on their forearm guards. This one has blue stripes. This one unequivocally has green stripes, and you can discern that the other two have yellow stripes and red stripes. I love how their helmets have disparate color schemes. I have a yellow clone trooper, a red clone trooper, as well as a blue and green clone trooper. Their helmets obscure their faces, though their facial features are an enigma. They're clones of Jango Fett, so I'm sure you already know what they look like, unless you're not well acclimated with the Star Wars universe. But if you are, then you obviously know what the clone troopers look like. I mean, I presume that you've seen Star Wars Attack of the Clones, and perhaps you've seen the Clone Wars, and perhaps you've also seen the Clone Wars series. But if you don't know what the face of a clone trooper looks like, then type it in on Google, and that will elicit their facial features behind the mask. So, once again, here's a glorious green clone trooper. He was produced by Hasbro. I'm unsure who sculpted him. I love their sculpts. I love their aesthetics. I love their textures. These figurines are just refined versions of clone troopers. Why do I say that? I'm sure that the prototypes were not as stellar. For the most part, as a totality, their joints are relatively sturdy. I really don't want to fiddle or tamper with their joints. I don't want to compromise the integrity of their joints. So, I'm gratified that I have finally procured these figurines. I'm jubilant and buoyant. I'm content with my purchase and decision. I have no qualms about this purchase and decision. I was able to procure 4 clone troopers for under $20, so for under $5 each. I have no gripes about this purchase and decision. What are your sentiments about this purchase and decision? Do you think that these figurines have merit? Do you think that they warranted the discounted prices? Or do you think that they're now worse, under $5 each? Let me know your thoughts via the comment section below. I believe they're more than just inanimate objects, or more than just traditional hunks of plastic. They're clone troopers that have been materialized into 3D. Of course, they're preordained to disintegrate, but that may not happen until the upcoming centuries, or the upcoming millenniums. I hope that they can last forever. Plastic is supposed to be non-biodegradable, but in essence, they're comprised of energy, or they're comprised of particles. And remember that particles are just fluctuations of energy vibrating at extremely slow frequency. So even though they're comprised of a myriad of particles, they're still a consolidated form of energy that's preordained to disintegrate, or preordained to become liberated from this form. Well, energy can never be created nor destroyed, but the figurines are preordained to become disintegrated in the form that we perceive them in, if that makes any sense. But the energy that comprises them can apparently never be truly disintegrated. It can only change form. So it just converts from one form to another. Will it vaporize? Possibly, who knows? But for that to happen, they need to be converted into a liquid first. But if liquids are energy, then perhaps a solid can be converted into a liquid and then become vaporized. In other words, these figurines could become melted, and then their liquid substance can become vaporized. Plastic can unequivocally be melted. It can be scorched. Nearly anything can be melted. What can you think of that can't be melted? I don't think a gas can be melted. But who knows? That's not my domain. That's not my realm of expertise. These figurines are meritorious. I'm so glad to be able to add them to my prodigious action figure collection. I love to flaunt them in front of the camera. If they become decimated, if they become marred with scuffs and scratches and dings and dents, then I at least know how they looked amid unboxing them. But hopefully they will remain intact and remain unscathed. I hope that you found this video to be intriguing, amusing, and enthralling. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.